Hey everybody. Well, I did what I said I wasn't going to do. I put a 4-speed in her in the old 37 Coupe. Uh, the automatics, you got to cut the X-frame too much. You got to cut too much of the floors out, and I just didn't want to do that. So I got a little bit more work to do, but basically I got it in. The mounts are in. Check out this floor in this car. This is the original floor for the car. It is just immaculate. Now, this part up here, all up in here, that's all unbolts. So I got to buy all that stuff, the toe kicks and the tunnel and all that, but that all bolts in. So back here by where the shifter is, there'll have to be a custom made piece there, but you can see, when you get right there, you can see that line up through there. And it's the same way over here. So basically all that will bolt back in. So see, like with the toe kicks, you can see where they bolt in. It's probably hard to see, but Now today what I'm going to do is this brake pedal has got to be bent over a little bit so that it'll clear that clutch mechanism. I had to make up all the clutch mechanism. And I had to use a truck bell housing because it has the place on it where you can connect all that. So I just thought I'd give you a little something here. But it's got a 4-speed. That's a 63 Corvette Borg-Warner T10 with an old Hirsch shifter. This shifter is one of the first ones that they come out with because it doesn't have Hirsch stamped on it. But that's a Competition Plus. I looked up the number for the shifter, and that's a Competition Plus. And then that's an old ball right there too. That thing's got a 1/2-inch thread on it. So I got to make an adapter to go from 3/8 24 thread, which is fine, up to a 1/2-inch coarse thread. So that ball will fit. I have to make a little adapter, but that's no big deal. You just drill a hole and tap it, and a 1/2-inch bolt, and away you go. I thought I'd give you a little. Then something else I did back here. He had this bumper, this gasser style bumper for the car. So I put that on too. I made all the brackets up. You take and pull the bolts and let it swing down, and then you can get it out. Otherwise, you can't pull it straight out. So, but I made that up, and he had that for this car. So this car has the bumper. See, originally it had 2 T-bars back here. It had a T-bar right there, and it had one right there where the other bracket is. But the reason why it's got that primer spot back there is the guy that used to be his push car guy slipped off the T-bar and rammed into the back of the coupe, so he had to have that fixed. So, but they pulled it out, and it wasn't that bad of a crush to start with, but still. So that's a I don't know, 3.5-inch or something, whatever they use on gassers. That's the old bumper that he had ready for this car. And then I got the motor mounts. Look at these doors too. You want to see something clean? I mean, this car is so immaculate. It's just unbelievable. Look all inside. It's just, and it still has this part here is all still good. I mean, the floor got the original body mounts on it still right there and over there. But this floor is just unbelievable how nice it is. And I mean, it's as solid as a rock too. Probably more so. So anyways, I got Jay, the guy that did my 35 exhaust. He had this dummy block. So I was able to go in here and do the motor mounts. I got this engine to where I can put right here, I can put a HEI distributor in it, and I've got a quarter inch from here out to the distributor, so I can turn it all the way as far as I need to. And I got plenty of room up here for the radiator and all the everything. And I'm going to run these valve covers here. The first car that I ever hopped up was a 69 Chevelle, and I ran wean valve covers, I ran a wean intake, and I had hooker headers and all kinds of other stuff in it. So this motor here, this 327 that I'm having built, it's going to have these wean valve covers. I got a wean Street Warrior or a Speed Warrior intake for it, and I got a wean water pump for it. So that's all going to be pretty good. And I got, you know, when you look back here, I got good clearances back there on the firewall and everything. So she's looking, I got good clearance on. You can see here, that's the clutch mechanism. And that bell housing, you can bolt either a ball on it and put a Z-bar across there, or you can make your own setup. And I made my own setup. And so that's where we're at with all this. So this is what I've been doing with this car, is gathering parts and you know, there's the front. I think I already showed you the front bumper, but anyways, this is what I've been doing. And here's your motor mounts on the other side. And I got the motor pushed as far ahead as I could. Yeah, that way I could get that gap for the distributor. You can see there's a good gap right there too. So I don't have any issues with anything as far as the firewall. And even the bell housing, if you look right there at the bell housing, I had to take and cut notch up on each side with a die grinder. And then I took and put a 3/4 inch bar in there. It's a flat bar about inch wide, and I vice gripped it down. And that just bent that just nice and straight. You did a nice job on it. And I left a lip there so that we can connect the not the trunk, but the hump to it. It's got, you know, all of it can be bolted in where you can take it out. And another thing that I like about this setup here is if I need to change a clutch or a 4-speed or anything, I can pull that tranny right out on the inside of the car. I don't have to get underneath. You know, I can do or get on top here, and I can pull that tranny out. I can pull that bell housing off. You can see all the bell housing bolts will be easy to get to. And anything I need to do there, I can do it. And I can do it. All I got to do is take the seats out and just go in there and take that tunnel off, and I can go right in there, just like a van or anything, you know. I can get that transmission right out of there, lift it right out, and do what I got to do and then put it back together. It's really easy to put that in and out. Then the other thing, I got me some Bronco seats. I got these nice Bronco seats. They're nice and soft. They're nice seats. And they move back and forth, but the backrest doesn't come forward. But that's okay, because in a coupe, you don't need that. Because the way the trunk is, I can go all the way up to the seats. So, but I'll have to build a riser and go across and hit these factory seat holes, which still have the factory nuts, the cage nuts, and all the bolts come out really easy. So it's just like, it's amazing. And there's the radiator for it. That's a 37 radiator that had one spout on the bottom taken out and one spout on the top. It's set up for a small block. And that's a record radiator. That's a brand new radiator ready to go in. And then plus I have another 37 radiator over here that had the bottom one taken out, and I can have this top one right here taken out, or just plug it with a rubber plug. You can go to Lowe's and buy pipe plugs. They're just rubber. They go on the end of the pipe. And there's another radiator. So I got 2 radiators for it, you know. And so I'm real happy with it. I mean, this car is coming along. The old Coupe, and she's looking good. It's just amazing that I got this car. It is just super amazing. Anyways, I appreciate it, and I thought I'd do you an update, because it just, you know, it's coming along. And so I ask that you would please subscribe and keep watching the videos, because I'm not nowhere near done with this car. I got a long way to go. So I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate all the likes and the subscribers. I know I've gained a few. I'm not a big channel, but then again, I don't use clickbait and all that kind of stuff. So, but I like those hubcaps too. I had some Kragers. I was going to put Kragers on it, but too much complications with all these new Kragers. Are all metric lug, and they have a different style lug nut on them, and just not the old way of doing things is slipping away from us. So, but anyways, I appreciate everybody watching, and thank you. Bye.